Suraj,
Yes, sir.
Suraj, please give a brief introduction about yourself.
So, myself, Suraj Tiwari. I am from Manipur, Uttar Pradesh. Currently, I am doing my master's from JNU in Russian language.
Suraj, you have opted for sociology as your optional subject.
Yes, sir.
Why have you selected sociology of all the subjects?
Sir, actually, the choosing of sociology, reason behind that, I'm in JNU, and the atmosphere there is very socially, and also sociology help me in writing exams as like essay, GS paper, and also. So that's why I'm choosing sociology as my
How
option.
would you relate sociology with bureaucracy in India?
Sociology is totally related to bureaucracy, sir, because bureaucrat totally work for the society, sir. So I think there is all about to sociology and bureaucracy.
What are the issues related to it, sociology and bureaucracy?
So issues majorly issues with bureaucracy, that typism.
Okay, let's forget that. You tell me what difficulties are faced by differently abled person in our society.
So differently able person face a very uh, uh, very much difficulty in our society. Firstly, the people of our society, there is a mentally construct the idea that a disabled person has something done in their previous life, that's they are disabled. And if person being disabled after some accident or other things, and they think if a person done something in past, that way is so they treat a person as like a wasteful things.
So we are not treating them in a good way. Society is not treating them in a
Yes, sir.
good way. You tell me what the government has done for them.
The government enacted a law for PWD person in 2026 or 2016. Sorry. For them, government in that act, all public buildings be physically handicap friendly, and the most of the building also physically physically handicap friendly, and there also a reservation in government job of 4%, and in educational institute there is a 5% reservation for PWD persons.
What have you done for the differently abled?
So sorry, sir, can you repeat
What
it?
have you done for them?
Sir, actually I am also a disabled for last 5 years. So I am trying to learn the things, how society behave, how I have to react, and how I have to respond, and how I have to help them to remove this type of difficulties.
Have you done anything for the people who have
Yes,
a
sir.
problem like you are having?
I majorly visit in institution in Delhi or in my home state UP, and there I see infrastructure is not PH friendly. So I also talk them authorities to make the infrastructure accessible for PWD person. And I also, when I visit to my village, uh, I teach the children and the members of the society uh, to uh, to think about the PWD person, and give them opportunity to do something good in their life.
Suggest us 3 things which you would like government to do to give them a differently abled person or people a better life in the society.
So firstly, government need to stick the rule uh, for PWD persons, and secondly, government restrictly follow the infrastructure issue for PWD person. As I feel, there is a 99% public institute, they are not physically friendly. And thirdly, sir, education sector. I see many of the physically handicapped students, they are not engaged in education because of their financial issue, because of their accessible issue, and so on.
Oh, thank you, Suraj.
Hello, Suraj. How are you?
Hi, sir.
Suraj, you are currently doing your post graduation in Russian
Yes, sir.
studies, right? And you have completed your graduation in Russian itself.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you must be very closely watching the Russia Ukraine thing because obviously it has a lot to do with the language.
Yes.
Tell me historical perspective about the Ukraine as an independent nation and earlier as a Soviet Sangh Soviet Sangh's territory. Do you believe that there is some rationale in what Putin is doing?
So, on historical perspective, the idea of Russia coming from Kiev. Earlier, when we start reading about the Russia, we start we take the starting point of Kiev, and the Kiev and the Slavic tribes. They have 13 tribes, and they separated. And there are many czars and rulers. They rule firstly from Kiev and then from Moscow and Petersburg. And after becoming of Soviet Union, Ukraine was part of Soviet Union. And after disintegration in 1990s, Ukraine become a sovereign country, sir.
That is fine. But do you believe that Russia's claim on all Russian speaking territories and then asking them to be part of Russia has some rationale? How the linguistic nationalism plays a role here?
I don't think so, because this is if
Because it is applicable on India also, because if you remember that
yes, sir, sir.
how LTT made a claim on the all Tamil speaking areas asking for Tamil nationalism. Is it the similar situation in Russia also?
So that is why I'm telling this is not a good idea to see a people speaking Russian and wherever they live in this world, and the Russian authorities claim that that is my territory. It is not a good idea of nationalism, as I
Why
think.
India is not calling aggressor an aggressor?
So India follow a multilateralism policy, and India always respect his population and work for the interest of their own people. So as we seen, Russia is our friendly, and also India help Ukraine on humanitarian grounds. So India always follow a dialogue and diplomacy policy. So, sir, I
But
think.
none of it stops calling aggressor an aggressor.
Sorry, sir, I'm not.
You're not in position to answer that. You just were discussing the situation in the society vis-a-vis the differently abled person. You want to become a civil servant. You'll become, I'm sure, someday you'll be IAS officer. But tell me, when you are into the bureaucracy, how will you ensure that your subordinates actually respect you the way they should be respecting any other IAS officer? I mean, the issue of acceptability usually comes with the marginalized sections always. What is your method or what is your plan? How will you deal with that?
So, firstly, as I feel in my life, uh, the time when I am disabled, the whole perspective of society totally changed. They firstly they see me a normal person, educated person, employed person. After they see me a best full resources, they say I am not doing anything, and then I doing best for myself. I study hard, and I told the society I am not a wasteful resources. I do for myself. I don't need anyone to help me. I am self to do myself. And when I become in bureaucracy, I whether my subordinate, whether my colleague or my other things, I told them I am a bureaucrat. I am authority. I am not a person with disability. So take take me as a bureaucrat, not a disabled person. And I do my best to persuade them, to motivate them. There is nothing like a thing in this society as a disability or other thing. So give me
Fine. Point taken. Last one from me. You've been justified in saying that society has a very unbalanced kind of attitude towards disability. I also noticed it at many places. Tell me 2 points where you now actually look back on your actions before that accident and you believe that you were wrong in your perception about differently abled.
So as I remember one incident on Delhi railway station. Once I see a physically handicapped person before my accident, and at that time I am not very educated. Also, I am also a normal person. So I feel like why are these people and other things? And after being a disabled and uh, preparing for this exam, and then I realized that no, there is nothing Western. They also have a they also have a very very resourceful.
Point taken. Thank you. So,
hello Suraj, good to see you in this mock interview. How are you?
Fine.
Suraj, we are seeing a lot of Swadeshi melas in our country.
Yes.
And there is a slogan that boycott Chinese products. So, how pragmatic is this call in the present day globalization?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. In this Swadeshi melas, we see people saying there are a lot of slogans are there, and in one of the slogans is very prominent there: boycott Chinese goods. So is it a pragmatic, is it a practical call to boycott Chinese goods in this present day globalization?
No, sir. It is when there is something happening in our country related to national security or other things, the people of India become aggressive to boycott Chinese thing or other things. But they not very much aware about the fact that we have trade with China, and China is our also neighboring country. We have border issues with China, and China also has part in our international organizations such as SCO, and SCO breaks G20 also, sir. So I don't think so. And also in Swadeshi melas, people not much aware about the thing, so they do this type of thing, sir, as I believe.
Okay, can robots replace administrative assistants?
No, sir.
Why?
Sir, because a human create robots, not a robot create.
Yeah. Human creating robots.
Yes, sir.
Working as assistants in administration.
Yes, sir. So
is it possible?
Sir, no, sir. In future, robots can't replace the humans, sir.
Okay, but certain routine jobs they can always do. What is your opinion on this?
So in routine job, robots make our life easy, and with the help of robotic or accessible devices, the life of people become easy. As I personally use this robotic wheelchair. It make my life easy. So I don't think so. Robotics can take job of humans.
But with the advent of artificial intelligence, decision making can be done.
So there is a program only artificial intelligence. We just put a certain type of data and it gives certain amount of results. Sir. But human thinking is very much beyond of that, sir.
Okay. Where do you see yourself after 10 years?
So I see myself after 10 years very good bureaucrat as a IS, sir.
Okay, that's wonderful. All the very best to you. Thank you.
Suraj, so you shine bright and high just like the sun.
Thank you.
May continue to do so. What is the reason that the sun keeps shining? Where does it derive its energy from?
Basically, the sun, the notion of sun, we see the nuclear fission reaction in sun, hydrogen and helium.
Is there fission or fusion?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm confused on that.
Okay, no problem. Can you tell me something about India's Aditya L1 mission?
Aditya L1 mission, ma'am, I'm not very much know, but I some guess.
Okay, try.
Aditya L1 mission for the study of sun corona, and it is not implemented yet, I think, and it will be implemented on 2025 approx.
Okay, just look up the dates once again. The dates, launching dates, just see them once again. Okay. India also had PM Kusum Yojana. Are you aware of it?
Ma'am, I aware, but
with respect to solar energy and farmers coming together.
Sorry, ma'am, I am not able to.
Okay, what are the India's solar energy targets?
India's solar energy target, basically India target in COP26 in Paris. India 50% on 2030 rely on non-renewable energies, and on 2070 we have net zero emission also target, ma'am.
Okay. You're a student of sociology. Can you tell me how sociology is different from common sense? Because sociology is finally the study of society. And any person who's part of society can claim to be a sociologist because he has seen society by his or her own experience. Then how is a sociologist different from the person who's using the common sense?
Ma'am, common sense, it generally a common sense. But in sociology, we have take researches, we create a hypothesis, and we find rational and logical thinking. Why this is happening, if poverty is exist, why this exists. In common sense, we say poverty exists because we don't have much financial resources, and that's why poverty exists. But in sociology, when we research and find out the results, then we know that poverty not only for economic resources, but also from other factor also affect this. That's why common sense is very different from sociology.
Since you mentioned poverty, who's the sociologist who studied poverty and gave this angle perspective?
Ma'am, exactly name I not recall, but the research being done in UK in 18th century, ma'am.
What is culture of poverty?
Culture of poverty. The statement, as I recall, ma'am, the statement given by Pierre Bourdieu.
Bourdieu. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And sorry, ma'am, I am not.
Okay, no problem. My last question to you: if you look at the Constitution, which article happens to be your favorite?
Article 1.
Article 1. And what does it say?
It say India that is Bharat.
The complete article, if you can remember, India that is Bharat.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Suraj.
Suraj, it is generally said that India is engaging with Taliban in Afghanistan, but not endorsing it.
So I'm not understanding the question, sir, exactly.
Okay, I'll ask you something else.
Can you repeat the same question? At the end question, I'm not.
India is engaging with Taliban in Afghanistan, but not endorsing the Taliban in Afghanistan. Endorsing, yeah.
Actually, Taliban issue is not a simple issue. It's a major threat, not only for India but all over the world. When we talk Taliban in Afghanistan, and they have not a nuclear resources in their own territory. So, India not India support Afghanistan on humanitarian ground, but the impact of Taliban continuously we seeing also in Pakistan. If Taliban capture Pakistan, it's a major threat not only for India but all over the world, sir.
Okay. See, Pakistan generally pursues the policy of gaining strategic depth in Afghanistan. What is that? Pursuing strategic depth. Okay. See, recently the deep sea research of China is making the headlines. Okay. So, what is the significance of deep sea research?
I'm not know about the exact answer, but if you allow me to, I'm good.
You may try.
So, in deep research, as is, China claims South China Sea, and continuously mines in deep ocean on that. So,
okay. Does India have any such missions relating to deep sea or deep oceans?
yes, sir. India has a deep mission in Antarctica and Arctic region.
Okay. My last question to you is, there are some regulatory issues, which often crops up with urban cooperative banks. What are those regulatory issues?
Urban cooperative banks. So majorly issues I'm not know, but if allow me to, I guess. So basically, non-performing asset issue they generally face, and second is priority sector lending. They did not fulfill the criteria, and sorry.
Suraj, you are from Mainpuri.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how Mainpuri has played an important role in the politics of the state and the country.
So, from Mainpuri, respected leader Mulayam Singh Yadav came from, and he is a member of parliament also, and he is member of parliament from Mainpuri, and he also chief minister of he was chief minister of Uttar Pradesh also, and so Mainpuri played
Can you
crucial role.
relate any other important politician with Mainpuri?
The Dharmendra Yadav, who also MP from district Mainpuri.
What are the agricultural products of Mainpuri? Main agricultural products?
The main agriculture product mainly lasun, wheat, rice, rice not very much, but wheat and lasun, potato are the
Sugarcane is also grown there, or is not grown
no,
there?
sir, not in the area of Mainpuri.
Not in the area of Mainpuri. What is the industrial importance of Mainpuri?
Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much, Suraj. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.